Welcome to the Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show for real estate couples about how to close more deals in the bedroom. My name is Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And each week we deep dive into juicy, intentional, sexy conversations, sharing with you what it takes to create balance in your intimate relationships and your real estate business. Thank you so much for being here. Shall we begin? What's up, baby?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Awesome. I am fantastic. Thank you for asking. Hey, Jam Fam. How is everybody out there? It's your co-hosts, Bill and Nancy Jameson, on this week's episode of Sex, Money, and Real Estate, coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia.
The ATL.
Yep, the ATL, and it's beautiful here. It's actually beautiful. It's like the perfect fall day.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes, it's been a beautiful day thus far. So I appreciate you asking me the question. Absolutely.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I appreciate about Atlanta right now, and what I was actually thinking about the other day is, like, because I'm from the Midwest. And it's cold up there already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how cold because I haven't really looked, but I know it's colder than it is here.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was really giving gratitude the other day is we actually have not cranked up our furnace yet.
True. That is true. Thank goodness.
I know. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. I love it. Rex actually ran the AC for his karate lessons the other day. And I was like, wow, okay, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
This
Literally.
Is, one of the
No
reasons,
pun intended.
one of the reasons why I like living in the ATL is just, we still have a little bit warmer weather than some, not as hot as others. And, and we still get the seasons here.
Mm-hmm.
The leaves fall off the trees, and, we're not putting Christmas lights on our pink flamingos up front or anything like that. It's like we actually have seasons here, which I really enjoy.
Yes, absolutely. I love it too. Awesome. Well, what would you like to share today for your magic, my love?
Well, what is magic, Nancy?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Bill. Magic is the ability to influence yourself, others, and life in an empowering way. And so one of the main reasons why we share magic with each other, we share magic when we say grace at the dinner table, and gratitude at the dinner table. And then obviously sharing it with you is a way for us to share with you all of the ways that we've been able to influence our life in just beautiful, beautiful ways, synchronistic ways. And we love sharing that with you. And of course, we love hearing your magic as well. So if you have any magic, or as you have magic, I would rather say, go to our Facebook group and share your magic. We would love to have magic shared more often. It's really a beautiful way because, as you know, what you focus on expands. And the more magic that we focus on, the more magic that happens. So our Facebook group is Sex, Money, and Real Estate. And then, of course, you can join that's our business page. And, of course, you can join the private group, which is known as Love, Money, and Real Estate.
Yes, those Facebook people and their algorithms. But yes, love, money, and real estate. Cool. Yeah, so, excuse me. Magic for me, I was thinking about magic a little earlier, and, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, this magic needs to be, to recognize magic, it needs to be like this grandiose thing that's happened in your life, or, it's like, whatever, checks falling out of the sky and
a new car showing up in the driveway.
Right.
Like,
and sometimes, magic shows up I'm going to, for the purpose of this conversation, in smaller ways. Mm-hmm. But what I'm really looking to point out is that whatever you consider big or small, it's all important. It's the recognizing it is the important thing.
Yes.
And that's what really creates the momentum to create more magic in your life, whether it's, finger quoting, big or small. Mm-hmm. So, I know you're tearing out of here the other day, and you're like, who's this dude mowing your lawn? Our lawn. And, I was on a call and I got that text from you. I'm like, I don't know. And I look out and there's a guy mowing our lawn. He mowed our whole lawn for us. And by the time I got off my call and went downstairs, he was gone. And I have no idea who he was or what he was doing. I didn't see any landscaping trucks around or anything.
Neither. I didn't either.
Just some dude mowed our lawn. I'm like,
mowing our lawn. He's got his AirPods in.
I'm like, our lawn did need mowed.
Yeah.
I was getting there, or at least Rex was going to get there. And B, thank you,
Oh,
thank
totally.
you, universe, however that showed up for taking care of something for me that Rex or I would have probably asked Rex to do it.
Yeah, but it would have cost us $10.
That's what I'm saying. Save me $10 paying Rex to mow the lawn, and it just got done. So it was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your magic?
So my magic is around one of the guys that we work out with, that we also happen to work with in our real estate office, and so he was sharing with us he's a drummer. He's a musician and he's a drummer. And so he was sharing with us this morning about this new video that he was in for the launch of his new song. And so he's drumming in the video, and he asked us for his feedback. Or for our feedback. So he shared the video with us, and he's like, yeah, this is my way of lead generating, because as I'm on the video, I have my logo and my brokerage's logo in the background behind me and my drum set. And as it happens, my assistant is my lead singer. And
That's so cool.
And so he's like, I keep it all in the family. And so the majority of my business are musicians. So I'm doing what I love, generating business, and I get, like, essentially I'm doing it my way. Like I'm in my business, which is real estate, and I'm on path and on purpose and doing my big why, which is being a musician. And it just, and it collaborates and seamlessly intersects. And he's got a great real estate business.
He does.
And it's all referral based, and it's all musicians. So they all get to talk the same language and be in the same vibe, literally, haha, no pun intended, all the time. And I just thought that was a really beautiful way of being able to influence your business and influence yourself, and, do and be and have the things that you love by doing and being and having the thing that you do. So it was just really cool. And I knew that we were having this conversation around our topic today about doing what you love. And, just Richie popped into my mind immediately about that. Just the magic of influencing. He's magically influenced his life to always do and to do what he loves, and to create a business around that. And that is obviously showing up by how successful he is and how happy he is. And, he's working out with us on Thursday mornings. And it's beautiful. So I just really appreciate that about him. I'm complete.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. He's an amazing dude for sure. He was always, super happy, super, he's just joyous, he's a joyful dude. And now he's really taken his health and fitness to the next level as well. You can definitely tell that he's a little bit healthier. a little bit happier and a little more joyful in his day-to-day stuff. And, he definitely moves a little more with ease. And, I just love his language. He just comes off as being a very happy dude. So it's cool.
Yep. It is great. It is really great. So again, just moving right into what we're talking about today, babe, it's all around doing what you love. And do you do what you love? And are you passionate about that? And, some people call that or have that question around, like, what's my big why? And like that question has the ability to like freak out a lot of people, or be a little esoteric, or that's too woo-woo-y, or, not really get down to,
or they're just
what it means for them to have their big why. And so again, for me, it's doing what you love, and then that flows into the passion of it, and feeling like you're on purpose, and those types of things. And so I love this, and I love this topic. Yep.
So Steve Martin says, be so good that they can't ignore you. And so, my question or our question to you, the listener, or to you, Nancy, is, are you so passionate about what you do, that you create elevated service and experiences that would be considered 5 stars? And if you're not, that's, well, I guess to digress a little bit, what you're doing, whether it's real estate or mortgage or any other career, does it put a smile on your face? Because it may put a smile on other people's faces, because, you may have a gift or a talent around what you do, but at the end of the day, is it putting, is it filling up your heart, your love light, your joy? Is there well-being for you from what you're doing? So I think that's where your, what is your big why comes from, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important to be able to identify that for yourself. There's a few different ways that you can identify it. And for the purpose of this episode, we're going to stay within the parameters of really identifying what your passion is, and how do you identify what your passion is? How do you get in there and like really answer those questions and create a relationship to what your passions are that is empowering and joyous and abundant and mature? And that's the jam method. And so, again, if we're looking at that, like what are those things, so that it really, gets you up out of bed every morning. So.
And if you're not passionate about what you do right now, that's okay. We're not saying that you may not be passionate about what you do right now. And
right.
There's some grace in that. And it gives you the opportunity to relate to things in a different way, because, it's easy to blame circumstances for not being joyful or not being happy, and to, because environment, there's environment, and there's the world around you. And then there's that inner peace that you can have despite circumstances. So, it's easy to put guilt on yourself for being where you are, as opposed to, appreciating everything that you've created, and knowing that where you are right now is really, you are on path to whatever that next step is. You just need to decide. And by not deciding, you're deciding too. So remember that.
Yes, absolutely. There is like that whole idea, not deciding, you're choosing to languish in it or feel victim to it. And that's an interesting space too. I mean, you can certainly pause and take inventory of where you are and what you're doing. And again, this applies to it. This is mindset work. And so it's mindset work related to where you are, and are you doing what you're doing? And so it is business planning season. It
is true. It is fourth quarter. Yeah,
it is fourth quarter. It is the end of 2020. Some say thank God, and others are like, woohoo, I had a great year. So depending on what business it is. and
others are like, well, here comes, Q1.
Right. And so
what am I doing now?
Exactly. So that's really where this conversation is coming from. Is it's a moment in time to take inventory and on where you are, and assess where you are in your feelings and emotions and your business. And then to be able to go, okay, cool. I am where I am, and that's awesome. And I'm ready to go. Let's start business planning, and then have that business plan locked in place. So it is seamless from, Christmas to New Year to the initial couple weeks of the first quarter, or it's not. And it's like, no, I'm really not passionate about this anymore. And yes, the time has come for me to really look at this. And, to your point before about being on that journey and like really having like this discomfort or this unsettled feeling, like it is time to look at this. It is time to make a move. I have created enough oomph and courage and guts to like really take a look at this. So it's like, what do I do now? Like, how do I do that? And that could be scary, like not having
Yeah,
idea.
it's scary. It can create, feelings of being lost or afloat at sea without a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that whole denial piece too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not capable of grabbing a paddle and rowing.
Or I'm too old, or I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money, or any
resources
of those other
resources.
Yeah.
All that
I got to
stuff.
take care of this, that, or the other thing. I can't quit my job. I can't, we get all that. Like those are all limiting beliefs. They're all beliefs that you keep thinking over and over again to the point where it's a habit. And we call that BS, otherwise known as belief systems. So you can evolve those. It's just like creating a new habit. So where do I start? So, well, really, I think it's time to talk about what does get you out of bed in the morning. Like what is that? What are those things? And so now we're again talking about passions. And passions are defined as something that is strong and barely controllable emotion. They really compel you to act. And I don't know. When I think about them, they just really fill me up with this urge or desire to fulfill whatever is linked to them. So inspiration, motivation, something that is literally like moving you or compelling you to move forward. They have a powerful influence. They energize you. It's all you can think about. It's, it's just like this urge, for our son Lucas right now. He found this new learning game that he's so incredibly inspired by this learning game, like that it's all he thinks about. And he's sharing all the little nuances of this game, and you can get this for this, and when you learn this, you get this badge, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And so that's a passion of his. And so, what are those things? What are those things? You may even find it difficult to explain your passion when you are asked about them, just because they don't, it's hard to explain that level of emotion. So, on the flip side, like Lucas, you may not be able to stop talking about him. So that's what a passion is.
Yeah. So you get to answer a few questions when you think about your passions.
Yeah. And so, this is part of our coaching program that we take our clients through when they're identifying their passions as well. So these are straight out of our JAM method that we ask when these are thought-provoking questions. So the idea is be in a quiet space, maybe have your laptop or a journal or a piece of paper or chalkboard, whiteboard, whatever, and then ask yourself these questions.
So, okay, so let's see here. The following questions. What did you love doing as a child? What engaged you as a child that when you think back on that really put that smile on your face and gave you, great joy, great happiness?
What was one of yours? Because you've recently cultivated your love of this. Remember you were doing it? You started skateboarding.
Oh, when I started skateboarding again? Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes,
so what you do is you literally, when we would have an open house, Bill will be on the skateboard going house to house, and we're door knocking, inviting people to the open houses. And he's got his skateboard in hand, and we've got flyers or whatever, inviting them to the open house. But that's how he's going from open house to open house. So he's in total joy during the moment while he's, again, cultivating the business of real estate.
Yeah, and I've done door knocking that way too, which has been fun.
Yeah, that
makes it super fast.
Yes, absolutely. So, door knocking as a whole, you're not talking about the open house,
right? But like when we're working, like
our farm,
neighborhood or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, and then what happens, or what do you do when time seems to collapse when you're engaging in certain activities? And I know, I've had those experiences reading books. There's a thing we've talked about over the last few months where, with the pandemic, we got a ping pong table, and I can totally collapse time while playing ping pong and being in that mode.
Yep.
What about for you? What collapses time?
My activity, my number one activity is making love.
Mm-hmm. That collapses time for you?
Like just, being in that space and that energy and that utilizing that space and the connection with you it's an amazing opportunity to be in that energy. So regardless of the act, but just like that space of being connected and in that sexual energy with you totally collapses time.
The next one would be, what do you love to do so much that you would do it for free?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Well, I mean, these are all great, but it's an opportunity for you to really listen to that answer.
And then what's the core or essence of the passion? Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit to that, Nance.
Well, so the essence of it is the feeling associated that you receive. So the emotional deposit around the fulfillment of doing that activity. Mm-hmm. So again, the essence of your skateboarding is fun and getting connected with that childlike play and that fun. And so when it's fun, it is clearly the opposite of arduous and obligatory and I have to do this. And it's like, oh no, I get to do this. So now all of a sudden I get to skateboard and I get to work. Oh my gosh, I'm so in. And so your energy completely changes. The state of being completely changes. And then the people who are on the receiving side of that open the door or go to the open house, they see your skateboard and they see that you're in joy and, all of those things are contagious. And so there again, it just really creates this beautiful space of fun and connection and delight. So, and everything is energy. So other people pick up on that.
And sidebar makes for great conversations too.
For sure. Absolutely.
So, easy and great conversations.
For sure. Yeah. It's super cool.
Okay, so you have that, and then once you do, you ask yourself a series of questions and listen to that, that little voice inside, that inside voice, for the answers. Like, once you've identified the passion or the core essence of what you've been doing, you can ask yourself, what's the next step? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that. So again, these are passions, and you can apply this set of questions and steps to goals, like yearly goals, monthly goals, biannual goals. You can apply it to identifying your passions. You can apply it to identifying a business. So if you're in love with real estate, like think about the context of these questions. Okay, cool. So I'm a $2 million producer. What's my next step? Mm-hmm. I'm a $5 million producer. What's my next step? Those are going to be two totally different answers. Mm-hmm. If I'm a $15 million producer, what's my next step? Again, different answer. So regardless of what you're utilizing these steps for, whether it is creating a business or building a business or identifying how to add some of your passions into your existing business, like Bill, like Richie, that all of these things apply. So I think that's definitely something that I wanted to mention.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And then the next one would be, who do I need to connect with to further this goal or passion or business?
Mm-hmm. Yes. What skills do I need to learn? Or how about this one? This is very confronting. What do I need to release to further this goal, passion, or business?
That's a big one too, huh? That one could be in bold for sure.
Sure. It may be TV. It may be alcohol. It may be some friends. It may be some employees that you currently have. It may be your employer. It may be all kinds of stuff. It may be
some beliefs.
Your right. I was just going to say that your BS, your belief system. Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely.
Nice. And then lastly, what is blocking you from accomplishing the goal, the passion, or the business?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
and you'll answer yourself.
Yeah. And, again, this is going to be probably things that are more than likely, they're going to be things that you are making true, whether they're really true or not. So take a look at that and get feedback on it, because wherever you are with it is been created by you, and it's going to take another set of eyes to help you get around or over or through, whatever that roadblock could be. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
And you can see that it is, some BS. that's getting in your way.
Yep, absolutely. All right, cool. So step 3, what are your priorities or standards that you've set for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, what do you enjoy doing versus what you're actually doing? And you're asking yourself that as it relates to your priorities. So this really shows up in how you spend your time, who you spend your time with, and how much time you spend on perhaps non-urgent, unimportant activities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, again, this is confronting, and it's an opportunity for you to get very clear about your priorities. Like, what are your priorities? And you may think that this is a priority when in actuality it's really not a priority. And so it's time to make a change in that regard,
Nice.
And so once you figure out what your priorities are, and that may look like making a list, it may look like looking at your schedule and saying, okay, gosh, I spend 80% of my time at work, yet I say that my family is a priority. Well, evidently not, if you keep making choices that keeps you at work or keeps you busy. So, again, it's reshuffling the priorities and really creating that top 3 list or top 5 list or top 10 list. And then once you've identified that, your action step is to create a time block, to create a small step every day toward whatever it is your passion is and how you're applying this. So if your passion is to start a business, then, it may look like 10 minutes a day or an hour a day, but regardless of if it's a business, to grow a business, if it's a passion to cook, if you want to incorporate cooking every day, then read recipe books or study chefs and their craft, or look up, new and interesting ways to create macaroni and cheese vegan style or something like that. But it's 10 minutes, it's an hour, but it's small steps to big results.
For sure. I think there's a methodology to that, right? There's a book or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Kaizon Way.
The Kaizon Way. Yeah.
It's a little book, easy read.
Yeah,
it's a Japanese principle.
There's so much. Oh yeah, it's Japanese. Yes, there is so much that can be done in small steps. And they can accomplish such great things. We have a saying around our house: "Go slow, get there fast." That's the Kaizon Way.
Mm-hmm.
And and whether it's, going for that run and starting out with a walk that leads into running running a mile at some point, or just whatever it is, it's just small steps lead to giant results.
Mm-hmm.
And it's part of the process is actually, doing the work. And then the other part of the process is that when you actually spend the time to work on your passion, that's a deposit into you.
Mm-hmm.
And showing that you are, consistent and dependable, and you can count on yourself to do the things that you want to do, that you feel, again, passionate about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
that's your commitment to yourself, your promises, your integrity, otherwise known as your say-do ratio.
There you go. I'm sure you've heard that before.
You do what you say you're going to do. What's the ratio? What's that number? And so, even dedicating a short amount of time to something that brings you joy each day improves every area of your life, all 5 wheels. And keep your commitment to yourself, because that's big. That's really big. It's bigger than you think it is, keeping your commitment to yourself. Because breaking your commitment to yourself is, that is a slippery slope, my friends. It's a slippery slope. So again, just put it in your schedule. That's the action step. Put the 10 minutes in your schedule and honor yourself, honor your commitment.
And get some accountability to it. If there is some low maturity, get some accountability to it.
Mm-hmm.
Could be hiring a coach, could be hiring on, a friend or a loved one just to, to check in with you to see if you're quote unquote on track with it or not.
Mm-hmm. Which definitely falls into our last step, which is be prepared to do what it takes.
Yeah.
With the accountability piece. It's, some call it sacrificing, and Bill and I call it the JAM method.
Joy, abundant, mature relationships.
Yep.
JAM. So, and in this case, your passion and enjoying the ride.
Mm-hmm. That's the JAM.
Yep.
That's the relationship, is you're cultivating that passion. First, you're asking the questions. Now you're cultivating it into practice. And then who knows, it's so important to be enjoying in doing, what you love and being in that space. And so the accountability space is, it's hiring a mentor. So a mentor is somebody who is already doing the thing that you want to do and being the person that you want to be. So that's a mentor. And then hiring a coach or a trainer is the actual person that's going to assist you with pushing you and giving you feedback and showcasing or highlighting your blind spots. I mean, sometimes it's really robust. My coaching client conversation 2 weeks ago was, did you do your homework? Did you do your balance chart? Did you schedule your game day? No. Okay, cool. I'll talk to you next week. Bye. Click. So, it's very important to have that accountability piece because, you're going to believe your own BS.
Yeah, it's easy.
And then the other thing, the accountability partner, the friend or the loved one or a peer, like a coworker at work, is somebody who's in the trenches with you.
Yeah.
Like who maybe has a similar goal or a similar business. Again, maybe it's another fellow agent or it's somebody else who enjoys skateboarding. It's like, hey, let's go skateboarding together. Or hey, let's work on this together. Like, again, one of my coaching clients, Nina, she's got this great accountability group and she's got 2 different accountability groups for 2 different things. So one talks to them about prospecting and the other one talks to them about goals and stuff and like just checks in. So it's that peer-to-peer is really helpful because again, they're like, oh, this person's in it with me too.
Yeah. And they're on the same road, playing for the same thing. And then, there's also that aspect around, it may not be a peer. It may be somebody who's doing it at a little bit higher level than you, which, it was, again, maybe like a trainer or a coach as well.
Yep. Yeah, so, it's great.
Or a mentor. So, yeah, all amazing stuff. And, it's really what brings you at the end of the day, what's bringing joy to your heart and putting a smile on your face. And if you're not feeling that, day to day or moment to moment, then there may be an opportunity to take a look at what your passions are and what your big why are. And if you don't know, go back and listen to this podcast again, because there's some great stuff in here around really what it takes to find some of that passion and to find how you can integrate, if it's your real estate business and you're looking to integrate some passion from another part of your life into it, go back and listen to this and do that. I mean, who would have thought that, like Richie had brought so much to his business by being a musician and then interlacing music 100%, integrating music into real estate. I mean, I don't know. I think it's amazing. And there are other examples of that out there.
Oh yeah. There's plenty of examples. So, I mean, it assists. I mean, it's like the whole point of it is being in joy while you're, creating the means to enjoy the things that you're enjoying, so it's,
so you can go do more of what brings you joy. Okay. So I do music and I sell real estate so that I can take more time to play music. I mean,
Yep. Yeah. It's great. It's
awesome. Great. If you have any questions or any comments out there for us about this topic or any other, please leave us a comment on any of the social media outlets.
Yeah, absolutely. We love being on this journey with you guys because we're on the journey with you. We're we're right there with you. So we love hearing from you and we love sharing our life and our experiences, our ups and downs with you. So again, we love to hear from you. Thanks so much for everyone that does reach out and connects with us and leaves us reviews, listens to us, downloads our podcast, leaves us comments on the Facebook group, like all of that stuff that really does bring us a whole lot of joy. So thank you so much. It
floats my boat. Awesome. Love goes out to all.
Thanks so much. Love you.
Peace.
Bye.
Wow, what a show. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're inspired, we ask that you share the podcast with one person and subscribe and follow the show. I'm Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And remember, it's
a great life. Quick note about the Sex, Money, and Real Estate podcast. We are not doctors or licensed therapists. We are a joyous, abundant, and mature couple, passionately sharing our story of growth around sex, money, and real estate. Our thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are our own, so please consult your doctor, healthcare provider, or your broker regarding any questions or issues you have related to your physical or mental health or specific state laws regarding your real estate business.